Elon Musk is incompetent in his position. He's a thief, he's a Nazi, and people don't trust him. Period.
So Elon Musk has decided to drop a lawsuit on Jamal Bowman for those defamatory comments. Also, yesterday, President Trump revoked the security clearances of top Democrats. Both of these stories in this video, but let's read what Elon Musk actually said. And here is the actual comment from Elon Musk. I've had enough. Lawsuit inbound. And here are a couple of other individuals in the comments section pointing out a few things that I think is true. Sue him for every penny he has. He and the rest of the Democrats have used every second of their day to slander and defame you. Another individual says, yes, this is the way. Make the process the punishment. One more, accusing people of crimes is not protected opinion. CNN is putting itself at risk of liability for bringing on guests who repeat potentially defamatory claims unchallenged. This is why Abby Phillip there towards the end was like, hey, your opinion is your opinion. Now, of course, people disagree with him. They say, I thought you are an advocate of free speech, supporting people who say all sorts of nasty things about immigrants. Now, what is the difference? We are all human beings. Hope you will now learn that insults and hate speech affect everyone individually. Now, here's what Elon Musk had to say to Tesla investors at a town hall meeting yesterday.
If you read the news, it feels like, Armageddon. So I was like, I can't walk past the TV without seeing a Tesla on fire. Like, what's going on? Some people, it's like, listen, I understand if you don't want to buy our product, but you don't have to burn it down. That's a bit unreasonable, Like, this is psycho. Stop being psycho.
So Elon Musk, he makes a good point. I mean, if you hate him, that doesn't mean you have to vandalize Tesla, right? Which are predominantly owned or leased by liberals, not conservatives. So that's the irony in all that. Here's another thing. I want to get your guys' answer in the comment section to this, because I know I have a lot of older people who watch my channel. What is your opinion of Elon Musk? Do you think Tesla's getting vandalized is the answer? I mean, I have to wonder, because I know the message that he is gutting benefits, that he is disrupting people's lives. Clearly, that's having an impact on our country, and his approval rating is low. So let me know what you think about Elon Musk in the comment section. And are you buying into a lot of the stories that are out there about him? Now, here is a liberal, speaking of liberals, Michael Smerconish on CNN, and what he has to say about Tesla. Take a look.
Around the world, people are attacking Teslas. They've defaced them. They've shot at them. They've even thrown Molotov cocktails at them, proving that gasoline and Teslas don't mix. And sorry if you thought that joke was in bad taste, but at least I'm laughing with Tesla, not the attackers. Contrast that with the Daily Show audience.
Some people are not content to just scream about Elon in a high school gym. They're taking to the streets or the parking lots.
Tonight, the FBI and ATF now investigating multiple cases of possible arson targeting Teslas and Cybertrucks.
This dramatic video shows multiple cars in flames. Police say the attacker used Molotov cocktails. It's the latest in more than a dozen instances of arson and vandalism targeting Tesla.
The same suspect shot more Teslas with a gun. Tesla Cybertrucks were set on fire in Kansas City, and earlier this month, shots fired at a Tesla dealership in Oregon. Cybertrucks on fire in Seattle.
Wow, you guys like petty acts of domestic terrorism, huh?
The crowd's reaction reminds me of those who cheered for Luigi Mangione after he was charged for the murder of a healthcare executive.
It's actually frightening, in my opinion. Look, I'm all for discourse. I'm all for disagreeing because you see things differently than I do. I respect all that. Free speech all the way, of course. And will Jamal Bowman actually be sued? Like, will Elon Musk be able to win that? Probably not, okay? But here's the principle that I believe Democrats are just violating, and they've thrown it in the trash. There's a fine line between let's disagree and debate and then agree to disagree versus I don't like you, so I'm going to destroy your life, your business, your livelihood, and I'm so gung-ho about it, I will destroy other people who have nothing to do with you and their livelihood. And Elon Musk is not doing himself any favors when he decides to post comments like this. He says, what are the statistics on trans violence? The probability of a trans person being violent appears to be vastly higher than non-trans. Hormone injections cause extreme emotional volatility. That is simply a fact. Now, he was responding to a user called Insurrection Barbie, who wrote, of course, 3 out of 4 of the people who have been arrested for vandalizing Teslas are transgender or non-binary. Now, before you react, let's show you the photos here so we know this is not just a false claim. This was posted by Nick Sorter. He says, anyone who tells you trans violence isn't a problem is lying to you. They're even spray painting trans rights are human rights on the side of Tesla showrooms. All they're doing is exposing the woke mind virus to more and more Americans every day. That is baffling. And here are the photos of these individuals. That's 1, 2, 3. And here is the supporting photo to show that's exactly what they wrote. Now, here is CNN's reaction to what Elon Musk said on social media.
Yeah, Musk has been retweeting posts saying things like 3 out of the 4 people arrested are trans or non-gender conforming. Now, there are claims circulating online that some of the people who have been arrested are trans or non-binary, and people are taking this off of social media accounts. We have not confirmed this ourselves, and authorities have not confirmed anything about their gender identity. And what Musk is doing, as he often does, he's just seeing things crossing his timeline, and he retweets them and he posts them without seemingly doing much research, even though he is sitting at the White House and he could probably get the best stats and research on what's happening. He also, though, began reposting claims that trans people are more violent than non-trans people. But here is a fact. Trans people are more than 4 times as likely to be victims of violent crime.
Now, if you were listening carefully, she said that the real victims are the trans people. Now, you could tell she's very biased because you could also make the same argument that the real victims are the Tesla employees, Tesla owners, right? People who have nothing to do with this political fight. They are also victims in all of this, but you heard that CNN refused to acknowledge that. Before we go to story number 2, which is about President Trump revoking the security clearances of individuals like Kamala Harris, Adam Kinzinger, if you're getting value from our channel, please do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support us further, go to the links in the description below, shop our merch store, or buy us a cup of coffee.
President Trump revoking the security clearances of more than a dozen high-profile politicians, most notably former President Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, as well as Liz Cheney and a dozen others. The reason, he says, it is no longer in the national interest. This applies to classified briefings and any access these people on your screen might have had to classified information.
They include top Biden officials, Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and New York Attorney General Letitia James. You can see all of them on your screens there. In addition to his Democratic rivals in the 2016 and 2024 elections, Trump also revoking clearances from the 2 Republicans on the House committee that actually investigated his role in the January 6th insurrection, former Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney and former Illinois Representative Adam Kinzinger as well.
Now, I don't think you, me, or anybody else out there are really shocked by this news. We knew President Trump would do something of this nature. He promised he would revoke the security clearance of Joe Biden because that's exactly what they did to him and anybody else that was associated with him who had a security clearance when he left the White House the first time. So no shocker here, but what do you think the media is going to say in response? President Trump is on a retribution tour. He's trying to get revenge. And so here is Scott Jennings explaining the thought process behind this move and that it's not all about retribution. It's more than that.
Is this retribution? What is the point of this if it in some ways is performative?
Well, I think when it comes to the Bidens, given the family's long history of influence peddling and dealings with shady people overseas, I think cutting them off from national security information is frankly a pretty good idea. That's number one. Number two, some of these people and their affiliates and the people they're associated with at the upper reaches of the Democratic Party have proven time and again that they are willing to abuse their adjacency to national security information for political purposes. We all remember the 51 intelligence people who signed the Hunter Biden laptop letter, for instance. And so I think what Donald Trump is doing is sending a strong message. No longer are people like this who float in and out of government going to be able to abuse their national security access for political purposes. And let me just tell you something. What goes around comes around, because as David just said, they cut off Donald Trump in 2021. You want to play the game? Now you got to play it when you're on the other side of the field.
Well, I think there are really 3 reasons that I will also support this decision. One is cutting off security clearances prevents corruption. We know what they're doing in Washington, D.C. They leverage that type of access to get what they want and to make political moves. We know that. The second reason is, remember those 51 intelligence officers who signed a letter claiming that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation or misinformation? And finally, which may be a little tongue-in-cheek, maybe might be a little petty, the left we know has been playing dirty when it comes to President Trump for quite some time. And so when he does it, they want to throw up their arms and cry foul. I'm just not going to buy that, and I don't have any sympathy for that. Now, that's all my own personal opinion, but wait till you hear the opinion of Abby Phillips on CNN last night, where she didn't agree that Joe Biden should have had his security clearance revoked. Take a look at this.
So, Tiffany, I wonder how you see this. I mean, what is the point of rescinding these clearances for people who, frankly, there's no reason to do this at all?
Well, they're not relevant in our American political system going forward. And, Joe Biden should have his security clearance revoked with his mental status.
What mental status?
Our former president, Joe Biden, who couldn't string a sentence together, who clearly showed signs.
That's a bad faith argument.
Yeah,
that is not a bad faith argument.
I want to listen.
And not only that, you want to talk about chaos, the failed departure in Afghanistan, where we saw people hanging on American airplanes.
There's no shortage of chaos.
I will concede that.
You're not going to argue with
that Joe Biden's.
He should not have a security clearance with his mental
Joe Biden's
status.
fitness to hold the office was in question.
Absolutely.
But I think you would also.
And that questions then his security clearance.
I think you would also concede that you actually don't know if there is, what did you say, mental decline or anything like that. You don't know what that is, or if there is any at all. He's an older man. The American people clearly did not want him to run for president again.
Okay, well, number one, Joe Biden's mental decline was clearly obvious, but the media covered it up, and I would say was really the nail in the coffin. As far as their credibility goes, they barely had any of it during his administration, but covering up his mental decline, that is just unforgivable, okay? His disastrous presidency also proves it, because clearly he wasn't making the decisions. So why would Abby Phillips try to defend or deflect from the idea that his security clearance should be revoked due to his mental status? I don't know. And if you do, please put it in the comment section, because I'm just not buying her argument there. Now, this leads me to the overall question of this video. Clearly, people are not letting up with vandalizing Teslas. But do you agree with Elon Musk overall? Okay, because I know, like I stated, a lot of older people watch my channel. What is your take on all of this? I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Put that in the comment section. And then for the second story, President Trump revoking these security clearances, do you think that is the right move? Let me know how you feel about that as well. Put everything in the comment section below. Now, yesterday, President Trump scored a huge win, as a new poll from Fox News shows that 63% of Americans still are committed to mass deportations. Now, this actually stunned CNN, and so their response to this is nothing short of delusion. Now, if you guys want to check out that video, more stories from yesterday, all you have to do is click on that video, because it's coming up right now.